For this website design review, we're taking a look at thepetsitterofboise.com. And I want to first start out by saying that I'm in no means trying to bash your website or insult anybody who's worked on it. I'm just providing an honest opinion from a designer's point of view with some constructive criticism and feedback to help benefit your website. So that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into the review. The first thing I always talk about are the strengths and weaknesses of the site. So the first thing I always look at is the logo. It should be on the top left portion of the site, should be on each page, and it should, match the color scheme. So it does, meet those criteria. It's just kind of oddly sized. I might prefer to see the cat or this dog maybe to be offset to the left or the right. I like how, the pet theme is carried over into here with the paw print for the O. Good color use. It's just, very large size logo, and it creates all this white space right here. So the sizing of it's just a little bit much for me. And again, I probably would prefer to see, maybe, the cat over here and the dog over here. Just something like that. Put it offset on the side that'd help you, make the logo a little smaller. It'd fit better. Always good to try to include a tagline or a slogan. The overall theme of the site, when you land on this page, there's not really a whole lot of, the use of color other than the menu or the logo. The rest of it's just kind of white. You do have some colorized text throughout the site, but maybe, not exact theming here with this green paw print. And some of this stuff just kind of, like this pay now button just seems kind of oddly placed in here. This, just seems oddly placed. Kind of not making the best use of the white space on the home page. It is optimized for low and high resolution displays. I'm using 1024 by 768 for this, and there's something that's causing this to, make the scroll bar, scroll over to be able to, see the website. So, overall, it's just kind of a very bland presentation, one that doesn't give trust or confidence. There's not really enough visual elements incorporated into the site. So those are all key issues as far as the current theme of the site. It does display fine at high resolution. Color scheme is balanced, matches the logo. As far as your domain name, I run everybody's domain name through the Domometer. It just kind of scores the domain name. This domain name scores an F+, and mostly just because maybe it's just kind of a long character count, 19. To me, this would pass the radio test, so I don't really feel maybe the F+ grade is fair. The PetSitterOfBoise.com is one that would pass the radio test in my opinion. So I don't agree with the F+, maybe a C, just because of the 19 character length. I feel your phone number is missing, from the upper right-hand portion of the site. I notice it is down here to call you. Typically, though, if you're trying to engage people in a call, put it up here. Call us between these hours or fill out the form below. Try to keep it as simple as possible. Your name, email, message, and just let them quickly and easily send you a message. Maybe rather than requiring zip code, a start date, a return date. These aren't required fields. People can just quickly and easily, give phone name, email, and, send a message. But when the user looks at this, it looks like a more complicated form. So maybe for this type of form, I might just use, name, phone number, email, message, and then, you can contact them, as a lead. Overall user friendliness and, my bad. One of the things that, when you land on here, there's nothing that really grabs your attention in less than 3 seconds. There's nothing that really, exposes any need or demonstrates any importance. You're not using any images or interactive media to engage the user with your message or, your services basically that you offer. So there's not really a direct user funnel per se on the home page to engage the user into a structured sales process. And that's something that, definitely needs to be addressed. People take their pets very serious. So, I would like to see that kind of personalization on the homepage. People take, who they're leaving their pet with very serious. So, if you have, multiple people, try to include, maybe a group photo or just something where these, people's images are represented on the homepage in some format so people can kind of personalize their, experience with the website. People don't connect with just text. They associate a face with a name. So it's the same sort of thing here. Should definitely be more personalized on the homepage, more structured user funnel. Make as best use of your white space as possible. These types of links are good. Nothing wrong with linking to an external site, but they should open in a new window rather than just leaving your site. This one didn't pull it up. It shouldn't leave your site. It should open in a new tab rather than leaving your site. For best usability, it looks like there's something coded wrong here. For best usability, there should be some more, links in the footer. Anything that can lend trust or confidence, credibility to your offer, associations, Better Business Bureau, any kennels, any pet associations, anything that can lend trust or confidence to your offer. Not really making a good strong call to action anywhere on the homepage. This says fill out the contact us form, and it is pointing over here to this, but because of the coloration, it almost lends to the user that this would be a clickable region. So some of that isn't totally clear on this page, what's clickable, what's not clickable. There's not a consistent use of fonts, font sizes, coloring, not making the best use of color to direct user focus on the homepage. About us, as far as there being, enough information in here, this is fine. It's getting a little bit lengthy where I might have preferred to have shortened it, maybe included a thumbnail, a brief paragraph, and then engage the user to click to read more about, Julie Frederick, and then take to, a separate page specifically, for Julie Frederick rather than, just putting all of these people on one, long scrolling page, put their thumbnail, their name, their title, a brief synopsis, and then engage the user to click more. That's just how I would have preferred to have seen it handled. Service and rates. Initial booking concepts complimentary. There's just not enough to make this stand out. This complimentary, that it's free, this initial consultation, there's no call to action to engage the user to, book the initial consultation. It's click on pause to pre-register prior to the initial consultation and or to schedule a pet sitting online. It's just not, it's kind of confusing. Whereas if you had just something, get started, now, and click on it, call to schedule consultation, or, click here, to fill out a form and initiate. So it's just really weak in the call to action in that respect. The pricing's clear, but not using color. No real ability to purchase or any call to action to engage the user into more specific content or to engage the user to purchase these services. All the way through here, you make this presentation. There's really no information on, there's just this pay now button here. So it's just really odd. There's no specific engagement, no carding system, and it's just, not very clear or, not easily laid out or intuitive. Good to have a frequently asked questions. It's a great way of eliminating pre-sales questions. However, with this type of format, it's really hard to navigate the content where it should be displayed in a manner where the question is displayed, clicked on, and then the answers drop down. Another usability issue is you have more than 5 pages on your site, so you should have the ability to search the site for any content that somebody's specifically searching for. FAQs just kind of handled a little outdated. The testimonials, no problems as far as this is concerned. It's just not a consistent use of fonts and colors throughout here. These are things that should be kind of mixed in through your content of your sales funnel as well as your site to help build confidence and trust. So it's good to have a page for this, but it's also important to, maybe take a sentence or two out of here and include them within the other secondary content or, sales funnel, basically. Good to have a photo gallery. People always love looking at pictures of pets, so, no problems as far as this is concerned. I always prefer if it's popped up in a modal like this, there's something specific that, identifies the user to close, or be able to click outside of the picture and have it close, maybe rather than forcing the user to click on the photo to close. Just some usability issues. No problems though. Here you have a call to action, but when I click on this, nothing's happening. So that's a bit of an issue. Service area. Okay, so this is, you got it outlined clearly here on a map. No problem as far as that's concerned. Do have a call to action, but again, it just kind of, pops up, and I guess hope that somebody might, just, fill out this form, rather than, causing a specific action. You could have the same, a form that asks all this information. Make this contact form throughout the site simpler. When somebody clicks a call to action, present them with a page that just has the form and focuses solely on that process alone. Policies and tips. This would, be more something that's found in the footer navigation, kind of like a policies, terms of use, things like that. Tips, that's good to include. Nothing wrong as far as this, just maybe not the most engaging content. Again, not consistent use of fonts throughout here. No images, so the content's just very bland. Blog, but no images in any of the postings. My preference would be to include a thumbnail. It just always makes the content more engaging anytime you can include a photo that's relevant to the topic. Always try to include a call to action. If, even if it's a blog, present your story or your content, but include also a call to action. So, if somebody's just by chance reading this, you do engage the user every opportunity you have. There's no contact option in the global navigation here. You have an employment option. It's kind of lengthy. Nothing wrong as far as having a lengthy page, but it's just kind of oddly laid out as far as the images and everything. Just doesn't look very professional, I guess is maybe the issue. I would prefer to see this, as a contact link. That's typically what's found on most sites over in this far right global navigation. The contact, the employment could be a submenu option underneath the About Us. Services and rates. My preference might be to break it up into 2 pages, one for services, one for pricing. Nothing wrong with having them on one. I could maybe word this, services, slash rates, services and rates. FAQ is fine. Usability and friendliness. It's a little hard to maybe drill down to the specific content. Everything's just pretty much only accessible from the global navigation. No ability to search the site. Pretty much, I guess throughout the site, it's pretty much just the same information in the sidebar. Not necessarily that's a problem. It's okay. Every page that's consistent, conformity, maybe on certain pages, would be better to have different types of content in the sidebar. No problems as far as tricking or misleading visitors. No non-standard browser plugins were required to view your site or the content. I didn't have any problems viewing your site in any of the major browsers. However, I did run your site through the markup validator. Comes back with 61 errors, 7 warnings for best practices as well as best search engine optimization. Your site coding should validate. You can go to validator.w3.org, type your domain in, run the validator, and you can, get a more clear look at each one of those errors. It's not uncommon for a website to have a couple errors. You're just getting into that higher amount, 61 errors. People using older browsers may have some issues. Another thing I noticed is people using a mobile, pulling up your site, may have issues displaying the content properly because of some of these validation errors, and you have no mobile version of the site. So those are all user friendliness and experience issues that should be addressed. Let's see here. I think as far as the site being a reliable source of information, I probably wouldn't link to it, unless I was local. It says, there's a 30-second slideshow, but I don't get where the 30-second slideshow is. There's not anything here, so it just doesn't seem like a very reliable source of information, basically. So that's something, a key area as well. Make better use of, making your phone number more visible. It's pretty localized with the Boise here. You may want to, you have it here. Instead of this welcome to the pet sitter, LLC, I might start out, with a statement, safe, loving, pet sitting services, in Boise or something along those lines, rather than this welcome to pet sitter, LLC. Just doesn't, that first line should really stand out, grab somebody's attention. I think as far as key information, it's all available through your global navigation, but again, the search area is an area that could be addressed. I notice when I do a search for Pet Sitter Boise, I notice you're the first organic site that comes up. You do have 16 ratings and an overall rating of 30, but I notice here on your homepage, there's no link back to your Google page for those reviews. So make sure you incorporate that, or Yelp, or any of the other review sites on there. Those are all things that definitely provide social proof. Any external link, any site that's not your site should open in a new window rather than just leaving your site. It looks like you got some followers on here, and you post on here, somewhat different pictures and things like that. So, that's definitely good that you're providing fresh and updated content on, your blog and these different platforms. Just make sure that, every possible social media outlet that your site is on, like Google Plus, anywhere else, Yelp, those types of places are all incorporated to be easily found on your website. Make sure that users can easily share your website content on those platforms as well. That's another important part of SEO. Overall, I think there's just not enough visual elements in the design. The layout's, not very clear and easy to follow. Could use better graphics, images, a stronger call to action, make your phone number more visible, have a specific page that's just a form for people to contact you. Shorten up this call to action, make it a little more simple. As far as your SEO, Pet Sitter Boise, you come up number 1. Maybe not the best title, because your title is Loving Care, Pet Sitting and Dog Walking in Boise, Idaho. I might prefer to have, pet sitting, Boise pet sitting, or pet sitting and dog walking service in Boise, Idaho by, the Pet Sitter of Boise. Something along those lines, where your most important keyword is at the beginning of the title. Just take a quick brief look at your description tag. Let's just do this. Description: the Pet Sitter LLC is a fully insured and bonded pet sitting service in the Boise area. Getting a little too lengthy here and not very engaging, where I might have used bonded or pet sitting service in the Boise area provided by the pet sitter, fully licensed, insured, bonded, providing, dog walking, cat sitting, and gone into some other keywords there. Generally, your description should be about 150 characters, because that's all that's going to be displayed in the search results. Make sure that you include images on your website that include the alt image tag. So when you put your mouse over an image, it displays what's in that tag, basically. That's an area to use for keywords. Make use of the H1, H2 font size on your site. Include the keyword. Make use of the keyword in bold or italicized text in the content of your site, rather than maybe bolding entire paragraphs. Make sure to include your keyword or key phrases. I notice, I think it was on some of this. Now, you're using SEO URLs, so no problems as far as that's concerned. Do have social media. I just feel it could be made, incorporate more sites in here rather than just this. Have the ability to share content. So those are my overall design improvement conversions. Definitely could probably use a better WordPress theme. Definitely, upgrade your WordPress theme to one that's, more of a responsive layout. That would be the biggest thing I would say. Make better use of consistent font sizes throughout the site and be more strong, more aggressive with your call to action. So thanks for letting me review your site. If you feel that I provided you with some good information, please take 30 seconds now, mark the order complete, and leave some positive feedback. Thank you and best of luck.